All right, the wait appears to finally be over as Aaron Rodgers is set to sign finally with the Pittsburgh Steelers a 1-year, $20 million deal for the former All-Pro MVP quarterback. And there's been tons of speculation of what Rodgers was going to do. Who is he going to sign with? Is he possibly going to retire? But he's set to travel to Pittsburgh Friday, finalize the deal before the start of mandatory minicamp on Tuesday. And there's been a lot of buzz that Rodgers and the deal with the Steelers has already been hammered out, and he just wasn't going to sign during the minicamp period, the voluntary workouts, because Rodgers is out, he's traveling, he's going around the world. And we saw that it really kind of bothered him last year when he got a ton of pushback from the media, people calling him out when he missed out on the Jets stuff coming back from his Achilles injury. But is Rodgers even an upgrade for the Steelers at quarterback? Steelers have Mason Rudolph on the roster, and obviously from a success and a career standpoint, Rodgers is the guy, but he's 41 years old and really was not that great with the New York Jets. Now, he finished a little better down the stretch, 18 touchdowns to 4 interceptions in the last 10 games, I believe, but still only a 5-12 record with the Jets. Now, you could blame the Achilles injury. He was coming back, and that injury is a lot more than a year. My man was talking about coming back 6 months, 5 months, whatever that nonsense was. But it's really kind of like a 16 to 18-month injury, really maybe 2 years, especially with his advanced age. Now, Aaron Rodgers, who the hell knows? My guy could be doing some mystical seances or whatever in a cave somewhere to repair that Achilles. So I wasn't totally putting it past him that he was going to bounce back. But is the Steelers team better than the Jets team that he was on the last 2 seasons? Well, last season really that he played for. And I would say, yeah, objectively, yes. The offensive line is better. The Steelers have struggled with it a long time with the offensive line. They actually have a good unit there now. Got a solid backfield. They got rookie Caleb Johnson coming in and also with Jaylen Warren back there. And they got DK Metcalf at wide receiver, a number 1 wide receiver now. Is DK Metcalf a little unreliable? He got this big contract extension again. Yeah, I think so. But there is an elite defensive unit on this Jets team, but they are getting up there in age and they are getting very expensive and they're getting a little brittle. Like TJ Watt, like you just never know what TJ Watt's health status is going to be. It seems like he's always hurt and he was really unproductive down the stretch last season, but this feels like a good culture fit, I guess, because the Steelers are going to be able to absorb the Aaron Rodgers nonsense. Mike Tomlin is the master of dealing with personalities and not like just total bullshit out there. Think about the guys he had: Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, George Pickens. Mike Tomlin puts up with a lot of crazy guys out there, so he'll be able to manage Rodgers, who's only just like a little bit crazy compared to those guys. Still crazy though, but Steelers, Super Bowl or bust. They haven't won a playoff game since 2017, January of 2017. So it's been a long time for them. They're always got a winning record. They're always 8-8 or better. Now you can't do that. So 9-8, bounced in the playoffs, and it was really kind of dysfunctional on the offense last year. We saw that they didn't trust Justin Fields. Arthur Smith and Russell Wilson, that blew up. Russell Wilson behind the scenes was a train wreck. And I think Rodgers is a decent fit for this offense. And does he have a little left in the tank? So let's look. Like I said, it was a disaster start and finish for Rodgers. They started out 2-2, then they roll off 4 straight losses and things are looking bad. And Rodgers just wasn't that good. Like, he was okay. He had some moments there, but low completion percentage numbers, low yards per completion. It wasn't great. His average wasn't good. It was bad. And down the stretch, we picked it up a little bit and really beat up on a shitty Dolphins twice. 339, 274, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. And a touchdown, no picks. So not great all around for Rodgers. He has a lot to work on, okay? The cold game, he was abysmal against the Rams. 256 and a touchdown, and it didn't feel that good. Abysmal against the Rams. Abysmal against the Bills. Look at these. If you really watch that tape, he's bailing out. He doesn't want to get hit. He's old. The arm is still pretty good. He still gives you those throws where it's like, holy shit, that's an Aaron Rodgers throw. But I just don't know how he's going to vibe. The cold weather in Pittsburgh, the grittiness, not going to be great. Now, if he doesn't have to throw the ball much, that could help. If they're going to run the football, short, quick passes, be highly efficient, that's going to help him out a lot because Rodgers can still do all that stuff. And there is a lot more stability with him at the Jets. But when you look at the other quarterback on this team, Mason Rudolph, is Rodgers much of an upgrade? Now, Mason Rudolph way more reckless with the ball. And I think that's the biggest thing is they're going to cut down on these turnovers and just be really efficient. Because, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick may be good enough for the Tennessee Titans, a team that was struggling, the worst team in the league out there. But that's not going to be good enough for Pittsburgh, who's trying to win football games, rely on their defense, grind out games. But Rodgers gonna give it a go. What do you think Rodgers' ultimate echelon, like what is his peak gonna be for this season? Can he reach that Brett Favre level of success? Obviously, that's what the comps are gonna be when Brett Favre went to the Vikings after spending that 1 year with the Jets, takes them to the NFC Championship game, got hosed out of a Super Bowl, and had an MVP level season. Can Rodgers get back to that level? Because we saw what Rodgers was kind of when they brought in Jordan Love those last few years in Green Bay. He was an absolute stud, won 2 MVPs. Now he faltered off a little, hasn't made the playoffs now in 3 consecutive seasons. That is the concerning part here. Now we haven't had a clean, fresh start with the Rodgers thing, New York, the injury. It's all been a shit show, but that's kind of the history of Aaron Rodgers' career. Has there ever been a non-dramatic Aaron Rodgers season or team like ever? I mean, this man was maybe the most talented quarterback to ever step on a football field, making throws we've never seen before, innovating the back shoulder pass. I mean, really, he's the guy who put the back shoulder throw on the map, but only 1 Super Bowl appearance, 1 Super Bowl win, funnily enough, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But he's going to have a great redemption tour this year. A lot of teams out there that Rodgers can go get some get back with. They play the Jets week 1. Holy shit. The NFL knew what was cooking there, putting that game on the schedule week 1. Rodgers getting the Jets back. He plays the Vikings week 4 back in Dublin. That's a little fun one there. Played the Vikings in London last year with the Jets. And he plays the Packers week 8. So he gets a showdown with Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love. That's going to be an interesting one. I don't know how Rodgers is ultimately going to fit in with this Pittsburgh Steelers team, but a lot of smoke, finally get it done. Makes sense. Waited for the mandatory, the OTAs to finish. He is expected to be at mandatory minicamp on Tuesday, and he'll finally be getting to work with the new offense. I bet you Arthur Smith's probably like dropping little play sheets over there. They were probably getting ready to rock and roll. I don't think Aaron Rodgers ever truly considered retirement. I think he did really want to go play for the Vikings, but the Vikings are all in on JJ McCarthy. And so he was kind of up shit's creek without a paddle. The Giants went in with Russell Wilson. They weren't going to wait along, but the Steelers were okay with waiting. They said the deal has been done since like March when he went and visited at the end there, and they said they had productive talks. It's pretty much hammered out the 1 year, $20 million. Like he said, he told teams he was going to be playing for that $20 million mark. But really interesting now, Aaron Rodgers officially a Pittsburgh Steeler here. Let's take a quick look at that schedule. Like I said, Jets week 1, Seahawks, another team that could have potentially been interested in Rodgers, the Vikings, good game against the Bengals, the ultimate rematch on Sunday Night Football. The NFL knew. We all kind of knew, but there was the off chance Rodgers was going to hold out for injury to another quarterback and give it a roll out there. And he also gets the Lions and the Bears, so can still own the Bears. A little NFC North reunion for Rodgers. So interesting stuff here. We finally have a quarterback in Pittsburgh. I think they're going to be a competent team. Now, will they be good enough to get in the playoffs? I don't know. They have a brutal schedule. Like I said, they play the NFC North. The AFC North is stacked with the Ravens and the Bengals, who I think are going to be better. So it's a tough road for the Steelers up ahead. But Rodgers finally in Pittsburgh, can he go out a lot better than it looked like he was going out in New York? I would just like one more competent season from Aaron Rodgers. As much as I hated Aaron Rodgers, he was the bane of my existence growing up as a Vikings fan. You still don't want to see a legendary quarterback go out with a total pathetic whimper. You want him to go out on a decent note. But that's going to do it for us today. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Is this a good move for the Steelers, or should they just roll with Mason Rudolph and let Rodgers go off in a cave somewhere? Let me know what you guys think. Again, if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We got daily sports content for you guys. If you want to support the channel more, sign up for a channel membership. You get all sorts of access to cool and exclusive perks. Help support me, allows me to keep making this great content for you guys every single day. Summer is here. You want to go check out one of your teams live and in person, head on over to SeatGeek.com. Use code afterthereview for $20 off your first purchase. That's SeatGeek.com, code afterthereview for $20 off your first purchase. Check out the links down below. Sign up for our Discord so you can talk ball with all other fun sports-minded fans like yourself. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.